Are you kidding me? Well, never mind. We got a problem then. Yeah, like that. Like that. Come on, and stop punching now. Oh, man. That's the monster now. Ridic. Be good to me. Come on. How? Come on, man. Ah, was it gonna download or what? And it's not. I keep saying it. It's not. Whoa.
Your mind is a storm of endless a constant whirlwind of thoughts, opinions, and judgments. It's like a noisy room you can't escape, a place where the echoes of yesterday collide with the worries of tomorrow. But what if I told you this storm doesn't have to control you? What if I told you there's a way to step outside the noise and find something truly profound? A silence so still, it feels like touching the very essence of life itself. Think about it. How many moments of your life have slipped away unnoticed because your mind was somewhere else? A conversation with a loved one where your focus was on an unfinished task. A beautiful sunset lost to the endless replaying of past mistakes. Or perhaps the most painful of all, the quiet moments of peace you couldn't enjoy because you were busy worrying about a future that doesn't even exist yet. But before we go any further, ask yourself this. When was the last time you truly felt the present moment? Not thinking about it, not analyzing it, just living it. No judgments, no comparisons, just the raw, unfiltered experience of being alive. For many, the answer is painful. It's been too long. We've become prisoners of our own thoughts, trapped in a never-ending conversation that's robbing us of life's most beautiful gift, the now. In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you something powerful. Together, we'll explore how to quiet the noise, how to turn down the volume of your inner dialogue, and how to reconnect with the simplicity of the present moment. You don't need years of practice. You don't need special skills. All you need is the willingness to try. Because once you've tasted true silence, you'll never want to go back to the noise. So, are you ready to let go of the storm? Are you ready to experience the profound stillness that's always been there, just waiting for you? If so, take a deep breath and let's begin. Imagine this. You're standing in the middle of a beautiful forest. The trees sway gently in the wind, the birds sing, and a nearby stream whispers as it flows. But you don't hear any of it. Why? Because your mind is somewhere else, wrapped up in a mental conversation about yesterday's mistakes or tomorrow's uncertainties. You're surrounded by beauty, but it's lost to the noise inside your own head. This is what so many of us experience every day, life happening all around us. But we're too caught up in the constant chatter to notice. Why does this happen? Why does the mind feel the need to talk to us non-stop, like a radio that can't be turned off? It's because your mind has learned to mistake thinking for living. It believes that by analyzing, judging, and planning, it's protecting you. But in reality, it's keeping you stuck in a loop of worry, regret, and distraction. This is the cost of living with a noisy mind. You're here, but you're not truly present. You're alive, but you're not truly living. And let's be honest, the noise is exhausting, isn't it? You've felt it. That mental fatigue that comes from replaying the same arguments, the same worries, the same doubts over and over again. It drains your energy. It clouds your focus. And worst of all, it steals your peace. But here's the truth that no one tells you. Silence is the antidote. True silence, not the absence of sound, but the stillness of the mind, is what allows you to finally hear the world around you. It's what allows you to hear yourself. Think about how much of life we miss because we're distracted. How many sunsets go unseen because our eyes are glued to screens? How many smiles go unnoticed because we're lost in thought? And how many moments of joy slip away because we're too busy reliving the past or worrying about the future? Silence matters because it's the doorway to presence. And presence is the only place where life truly happens. You see, the mind loves to live in time. It loves to replay the past and anticipate the future. But the present moment is where life is. Right now, in this very moment, is the only reality there is. Everything else, the past, the future, exists only as thoughts. The noise in your head creates a world of what-ifs, and if only's pulling you away from the simplicity of what is. But silence brings you back. It's like stepping out of a crowded room and into the open air, where everything feels clearer, lighter, more alive. Silence isn't just about peace, it's about clarity. In silence, you can finally hear the truth. You can hear your intuition, the quiet voice that often gets drowned out by the chaos of overthinking. You can feel the connection between yourself and the world around you, a connection that's always been there, but has been masked by mental noise. In silence, you realize that you're not separate from life. You are life. The boundaries you think exist between you and the rest of the world are just illusions created by a busy mind. And here's the beautiful thing. Silence doesn't demand perfection. It doesn't require you to have a completely empty mind. Instead, it asks for awareness. It asks you to notice the chatter without being consumed by it. To step back and observe your thoughts like leaves floating down a river, letting them come and go without clinging to them. This is why silence matters, not because it eliminates thought, but because it frees you from being controlled by it. So why does silence matter? Because it gives you back your life. It gives you the ability to be here, now in the only moment that truly exists. It's not just about quieting the mind, it's about waking up to the richness of the present. It's about hearing the song of a bird, feeling the warmth of the sun, or noticing the rhythm of your own breath, and realizing that this moment is enough. Silence isn't an escape. It's a homecoming, a return to the beauty of life as it is. And once you taste that stillness, even for a moment, you'll understand its power. You'll understand why silence isn't just a break from the noise. It's the space where the fullness of life unfolds. It's the space where you rediscover who you are. Have you ever felt the weight of trying to control everything in your life? You plan, you strategize, you overthink, all in an attempt to keep things from falling apart. It's exhausting, isn't it? That constant need to steer every detail, to make sure everything goes just right. But here's the truth most of us don't want to admit. Control is an illusion. It's a comforting story we tell ourselves to feel safe in an unpredictable world. And yet, the more we cling to this illusion, the more we suffer. Think about it. How often does life actually go exactly the way you planned? A missed call, an unexpected delay, a sudden change in someone's behavior. These tiny disruptions remind you that no matter how much you plan or work, you can't control everything. And yet we keep trying, don't we? We hold on tightly, thinking that if we just work harder or think faster, we can outsmart the chaos. But this effort comes at a cost. We trade peace for anxiety, freedom for frustration. Let me ask you something. When was the last time you truly let go? Not in a careless or reckless way, but in a way that felt freeing, where you stopped trying to force outcomes and simply allowed life to unfold. For many of us, that idea feels terrifying. To let go feels like giving up, like admitting defeat. But it's not. Letting go is not the same as losing control. It's realizing that you were never really in control to begin with. It's surrendering to the flow of life instead of constantly fighting against it. You see, the mind thrives on control. It wants to label everything, predict everything, and hold on to everything. But life doesn't work that way. Life is fluid, unpredictable, and full of surprises. The harder you try to grip it, the more it slips through your fingers. It's like trying to hold onto water. The tighter you squeeze, the less you have.
The chessboard is a world unto itself, a battlefield where strategy meets creativity, logic meets intuition, and every move matters. It's a game of kings and queens, knights and bishops, rooks and pawns. Yet, among all the pieces that populate this world, none.
How to play chess.
Welcome to the world of chess. My name is Lenny Rosman. I'm an international master from New York City, hence the name Gotham. And in this video, I want to give you all the tools you'll need to learn chess and navigate it as a beginner. I'm covering 5 major concepts that I've picked out. They're right here. We'll talk about the board and the setup, and obviously all of the pieces, how they move, and how many points they're worth. Then we'll talk about their interactions. That means what pieces have what vision, attacking, capturing, creating threats, and defending them. That will flow into number 3, which is checks and checkmate. That's talking specifically about the king, because checkmate is the goal of the game. In the 4th category, I will show you some basic opening ideas, how to start a game with white and with black, certain traps to avoid falling into. The middle game will be tactics and strategy, the 2 major branches, and talk a little bit about endgames as well. What are the most important endgames for beginners to know? And last but not least, we'll just talk a little bit about a study plan. All right, sounds good. Let's go. First things first, a chessboard is an 8x8 square which has files, which are the A file, the B file, the C file, and so on, and ranks. The first rank, the second rank, etc. Boards with coordinates, as you see here, have A1, B1, and so on. White starts on 1 and 2, and if you don't have those coordinates, the bottom right-hand corner should be a light square, okay? Each side has 8 pawns. They go on the 2nd and 7th rank respectively. Then the back rank of pieces, you can put the rooks or the castle-like structures in the corners, followed by the knights, or the horsies, however you want to call them. The bishops go next, the ones with the pointed hats. And in the middle, you've got the royalty, the king and the queen. The easiest way to remember how to put the king and the queen is that the white queen likes to have a white dress with white shoes. She likes to stand on the same color square. The black queen likes a black dress with black shoes. So the black queen will stand on the dark square, and the white queen will stand on the light square. The kings will obviously stand adjacent. Now, kings, you can also remember, are on the E file, and the queens are on the D file. That's one more way to remember. Now, this is a lot of pieces. So what I'm going to do when I'm teaching you about piece movements is I'm going to cut back a lot. Now, hopefully, all of the games that you play look like this. Well, you will be playing with the white pieces, hopefully, in this position. You're up 35 points of material. Let's start with the pawns. Pawns are worth 1 point. They only move forward. They do not move backwards. On their first move, pawns can go up 2 in one go, like this. However, after that, they can only move forward 1 square. If a pawn makes it all the way to the end of the board, you can promote it to a queen, a rook, a bishop, or a knight. Even if you already have the 2 knights, for example, that you start with, you can have a third one. One thing about pawns, the way they capture is not forward, it's diagonally 1 square. So, for example, in this position, the white pawn would, wrong arrow. The white pawn would capture the black pawn like this. That would be the capture of a pawn. Okay? Now, there is one other bonus rule of pawns that I'll include here, just for the sake of including it. It will confuse you, and you might be tempted to leave this video, but that rule is called en passant. There is this special rule. I did not invent it, so please don't hate me. Which looks something like a software glitch, and it goes like this. If an enemy pawn moves 2 squares, okay, 2 squares, and stands side by side with your pawn, you can take that pawn via something called en passant, in passing, only on this move. If you wait 1 turn, you can't do it, and it looks like this. You say, Levy, I'm only like 5 minutes into this video. You're already confusing me. I don't feel safe. Listen, it's just my rule. It's just my job to report the rules, okay? That's the only special rule about pawns, okay? All good? Terrific. Now, let's move to knights and bishops together, because those are called the minor pieces, and they're worth 3 points. Okay? Bishops are very simple. They can go forward and backward, diagonally, on their own color. So a light square bishop, that's how it moves. A dark square bishop, in this case, would go all the way down here if it could. But it can go to any of these squares. It can go 1 square, 3 squares, whatever. Knights. Knights are the most unique. They move in little L's. So that would mean up 2 over 1. Okay, or up 1 over 2. So what does that look like? Well, that looks like this. 1, 2, turn. Or 1, 2, turn. or 1-2 turn, or 1-2 turn. Knights can also go backwards. And the cool thing about knights is they can jump over other pieces. So this knight doesn't have to ask permission. It can just directly move to this square with no issues. Now, of course, you can't take your own pieces, so don't try to do that. But it could go 2 and 1. Now, obviously, knights are a little bit slow. It would take a very different amount of time for these two pieces to get to the other side of the board. They're each worth 3. Rooks and queens are actually quite simple. No more fancy L's. Rooks go up, down, left, right, and they're worth 5 points in any direction that they want. So like this, like this, like this. Sorry, not in any direction that they want. I should say, however, which distance that they want to cover. Queens are like a rook and a bishop combined. Queens are worth 9 points, and they can go all the way here, 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 all the way this way, and this way. Whatever one of those squares that queen chooses to go to, it can go to. It is super powered. You want to keep the queen. It's your most powerful attacking piece, but it shouldn't do damage early. We'll be fighting against the fully loaded position. Last but not least, we have the kings. Kings are like queens, except they're kind of not at all. They can go in any direction that they want, but only one square. So the queen can go as much as once. The king can only move 1. One more bonus rule for you, which is castling. Okay? I said I might confuse you a little bit. Castling is a move in chess. It's when you move 2 pieces at the same time. It's your king and your rook. Okay? And what that looks like is, let's say, in this kind of a position, so it's white's move, the king will go 2, and the rook will hop right over next to the king. You can obviously only do that when the king and rook can see each other. And one more thing about that, you can only play the move castles as long as you haven't moved the king or the rook that you're trying to use for castling. You'll learn later in the opening section why castling is important. It's an important move because it gets the king out of the middle, hiding it in a little vacation home on the side. For now, don't be confused. If you're confused, it's okay. All things will be explained later. Let's talk a little bit about how the pieces interact on the chessboard. The way I want you to think about this, okay, is vision of a piece. What does that mean? Well, let's start with the queen. This queen sees all the way down here, but it's all empty squares. The board is split into emptiness, empty squares, and physical pieces. A piece that is there, that we can see it. Okay? So first things first, the queen sees the pawn. Who else sees the pawn for black? Not for white, but for black. You look around, the rook sees the pawn. So taking this pawn would be a terrible move because the rook would respond with a capture. That's a capture of a pawn. That's what that's called. Taking a pawn, capturing a pawn. The rook would take back. We lose 9 points in that trade. That's how I want you to think about it. We get 1. 1 for 9 is not a good trade. What else can we see? Our bishop can see this knight. Who else? This bishop sees this knight. The bishops don't see each other because the knight is in the way. So if white in this position play the move bishop takes knight, and bishop takes bishop, that's a fair trade. That's 3 for 3. That's not a bad deal. Okay? That's how I want you to think about it when you're first starting out. 3 for 3? That's fine. That's more than okay. Now what does this bishop see? Bonus question. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Losing 5 would not be good unless we got more than that in return. Or close, like 4 points. Now our rook here defends that. That's what that's called. That's called defense. Same way that rook is protecting that pawn or defending that pawn. We're defending, but that's not a fair trade. So in this position, let's move this rook here, for example. On this square, look who we see. Oh. And the queen cannot come down and take us. That's a very important thing.
Wow.
Because the rook is protecting the rook. Right? Now here, how about this? What if, let's say black plays a move, queen f6. The queen sees the knight. Is it attacking the knight? No, it's not, because we're protecting it. That would not be a good decision for black to take. And one more thing. Let's say in this position black plays this move. Can we capture that bishop? That bishop is trying to win our queen, and many beginners go, oh god, oh god, oh, my queen's in danger. But hold on a second.
Alright,
Can't we just take?
The Knightknightgang?
Is that protected by anything? No? That's how I want you to start thinking about the game as you play it. Is anything protecting that? Am I attacking it? The point value system, okay? Because this queen is not attacking this pawn because it's protected. But if no one was protecting that pawn, then it would be. Hopefully that kind of begins to cultivate the thought process.
Yeah.
How pieces interact in a chess game. One thing hidden in all this is the fact that white can play a move, queen c4, and that hits the king. That's called a check. This next part will cover just checks and checkmate.
Okay.
So we'll move ahead to this position. Here it's white to move. White has a million ways to attack this king. A check is an attack on the king. It threatens to capture the king. In chess, there is no capturing of the king. The king has to escape danger. So for example, let's say the white queen goes here. Check. The king would slide out of danger, otherwise we would take the king. And so on. But what if we put the queen here? That's a check. The king, anywhere it moves, remains in check. Which means that we have put the enemy king in a check that is unavoidable. Nothing that black can do. That is checkmate. And we would win the game. Checkmate happens at the beginning of the game sometimes all the way at the end. Okay, sometimes in the middle. But checkmate will ultimately decide the game. One little more, I've got to include a little bonus here. This position is a little bit different. Let's say it's black's move here. Black's move, not white's move. If it's white's move, we give a check. But if it's black's move, can black move legally? No, because black cannot put the king in danger. That's not allowed. You can't give up your king. But is black in check? Is the queen threatening the king right now to take it? No, because the queen doesn't actually see the king. It just doesn't. The queen does not see the king. This is called stalemate. Stalemate is when one side has no legal moves, but is not in check. The king is not in danger. That is a draw. Not a win for one side, but a draw, a tie. You say, Levy, that's stupid. What if I'm up 37,000 points of material? I accidentally stalemate. Tough luck. It's a draw. We're working on it. It's December 1st, 2020. If the rules change in the future, I'll make an update video. But as far as it goes, this is still it. I'm very sorry. Now, as I said, checkmate can happen at the beginning of the game, right? So, the fastest checkmate known to, well, chess is called the two-move checkmate. And essentially, it's this. I'm just going to show it to you so you know it. But on the second move, black can play queen here if white starts out with pawn to f3, and pawn to g4, and now you're in check, and check is unavoidable. You don't always have to move your king when you are in check. Okay, you can also block the check if it's possible. You can also capture whatever is attacking your king. But in this particular case, you can't. Now, I promised you that we would look at openings, and we're going to do that now. How do you start the game of chess? Here you are, you're sitting there, you studied this video. All right, Levy, let's do something. Let's go. In the beginning of the game, you want to take control of the center of the board. This area. For advanced beginners, maybe a little rectangle. Best way to do that is to put pawns in the center. So that might mean something like e4 or d4. Both are okay. All right? Now, just for instructive purposes, I'm going to do nothing with black. I'm going to move the knight back and forth to give us the most perfect setup possible. If you can put a second pawn in the center, you should do that without it getting captured. If you can do it, make sure you can do it, okay? I'm going to continue to do these things over here. Next come the knights. Again, to the center of the board. Better, because from there they control more squares. Knights on the side, they don't really do that. Okay? Now, I'm still doing my thing over here. Two knights. That's usually the best way to go if you can. The bishops will go next. All right? And one thing that you have to remember
Bishop can go to c4 or to d3 or even to e2 as long as you're getting out the bishop. You want to give everybody a turn in the opening before you start repeating moves. You don't want to move the same piece 4 or 5 times. That's not how chess works. You don't need to reinvent the wheel at the beginning of a chess game because we already kind of know how to do that. These are the secrets. So, again, black is just doing goofy stuff, and I'll show you obviously a legitimate game after this. Now, I'll put the second bishop. Don't want the bishop to be left out. Remember that castling rule? Get the king out of the center of the board. 2 squares with the king, and the rook will jump right over and be adjacent. Okay? I want you to remember to do this if you try to do it at home. On a computer, you can just kind of drag this over here and it will happen. Or on a tablet or a mobile phone, but over the board, you have to know how to do this. Then you can bring the queen up and connect the rooks. That's kind of called the golden moves of chess.
All right.
Now, here's the problem. If you have a strong opponent and they just do the same thing, which is probably what will happen, you can't quite just go put 2 pawns in the center because they will take. Oops. And it's not a good idea to bring your queen out very early because the queen can be attacked. Right? Black just has way too much going on. Both sides have too many pieces to bring in your most powerful piece. Your most powerful piece will get taken. Everything in the position is protected very well. So, if they play e5, you can delay this move for now. You don't have to always go 2 squares. You can still get the knight out, attacking this pawn. Let's say they go knight c6. This is very classical. They defend. Now bishop to c4. Or the second knight. The second knight. Bishop to c4 would be another way. Castling, knight out, pawn out, and so on. The difficult thing about openings is that when you're first learning, you're very tentative. You're thinking about your own moves. All right, I got to get all these pieces to their right squares. I better not lose any of the pieces. And also, beginners do all sorts of wild stuff in the opening. They don't always follow the rules. You know? I will teach you the 4-move checkmate momentarily, but beginners do crazy things in the opening. So if your opponent is out here doing things like bringing the queen out, you're like, wait, can't I just take that? Yes, of course you can. A free queen is very good, even if it's not free. Queen is good. Take a queen if you can in the beginning of the game. Be vigilant. You're already in battle. It's not this tough positioning. In the beginning of the game, your pieces are coming out and they're fighting for squares as much as they are also targeting the opponent's pieces. So as soon as move 1, already be vigilant. What can you capture? What's a fair trade? What's a free piece? What's hanging material? And so on. There's certain openings that you can look up. The biggest difference between openings in chess are openings that are called theoretical and openings that are called setups. Setup openings, for example, like the London system with the white pieces, you play d4, let me write this here, you play d4, and then you play the bishop out, and you kind of play the same way every time. d4 and bishop f4, the London system, is something that you can do the same every game. Basically every game. Black does something totally crazy and loses a bunch of pieces early on. With the king's pawn, you can't really, because when you play the king's pawn, here there's a lot of different ways that black can play. I mean, I know it doesn't seem like it if you're just starting out, but black can play the French defense, black can play king's pawn, black can play the Sicilian defense. Shout out to Brett Harmon, Khan defense. You have to know what to do a little bit about everyone and add your knowledge incrementally. But one thing, I'll put this to black, is this. The early queen attacks. And in particular, something called the scholar's mate. If you're not careful with the black pieces, you will immediately misunderstand what this move is all about. White wants to play bishop c4 and checkmate you. That would look something like this. Bishop c4, queen h5. Why does this work? This is the only square near the king, which is only protected by the king. Yes? Only protected by the king. Which means, if white is able to land the queen on f7 or f2, if you're playing with black, and the queen is protected by the bishop, it's made. You lose. 4 moves, done. Game is over. So how do you avoid this happening? And has fallen for this at some point. Something on F7. Okay? How do you avoid this happening? Well, let's say you play, right before you 5 formation. First things first, this is not an attack here. It is an attack on this pawn, though. So don't go G6, because they will take, and that will be a double attack of your king and your rook. Very common trap. What I recommend, if you play pawn E5, is to always develop your queen's knight next. Whatever white plays, unless, of course, white offers you a pawn capture in the center of the board. That's why you put the pawn there, is to capture. So bring out the queen's knight. That defends the pawn, and if they go to mate you, make sure they can't take this. Defend it. With the queen, for example. Now you can block because your knight protects your central pawn. Okay? There's a lot of ways to not fall into this so fast. At the same time, if they bring out their bishop on the second move, then you can also play knight f7. Now the queen cannot go here because your knight covers that. Little tricks to avoid losing very quickly. Otherwise, a standard game of chess might look something like this. This is what a lot of beginner games look like. And this will flow into something called the middle game, which is the ocean in which chess players try to swim. But it's not so simple to do. The middle game is split into two things: strategic play and tactical play. Beginners' games are decided 95% of the time with tactics. I will give you a very simple example of what a tactic is. A tactic is a forcing move or sequence of them that guarantees gain of material. So look at the position that you have in front of you. How do we get this knight with the king? That would be a 3-step process. 1, 2, 3. That's a bit more strategic in nature. In positions with many more pieces on the board, strategic plans take 2 or 3 moves. Oftentimes, it means rerouting a piece to the other side of the board to make it more active, gaining very good control of the square. Tactics are immediate. They're the most forcing moves in the game. They make your opponent react. So, for example, here there's something called a double attack, or fork. The queen can go here, attacking the king and the knight. That will guarantee that you win the knight. Guaranteed, because the king has to move, and then we would take the knight. There's one other way to do this, and that would be here. Because that's all the same. That's how powerful the queen is. Another kind of tactic, I should say, is a pin. And a pin means a diagonal or a vertical or horizontal attack on a piece that can't move. It just can't move. This knight cannot move because we would win the king. And we cannot capture a king. Look, it literally won't let me move. This is a pin on the knight to the king. This can also happen in reverse. There's some debate as to skewer, X-ray, pin, but the concept is all the same. And by the way, if it was black's move in this position, black can fork or double attack the queen and the king themselves. Tactics are so important. You should do as many of them as possible. There are workbooks. My favorite one is 1001 Chess Exercises for Beginners. They did not sponsor this video. I just recommended that book. That book goes chapter by chapter. Every single kind of tactic, deflection, pin, discovered attack. There's a lot of different tactics, a lot of different ways to solve these tactics. That's what you should do. Chess is so much about pattern recognition and puzzle solving because you don't need to reinvent the wheel when you play the game of chess. For endgames, as we move to endgames are a series of positions toward the end, obviously, of chess games, which you should know how to win. So, for example, king and 1 pawn versus king endgames. That's something that, without any knowledge...
Well, President Trump's illegal immigration crackdown is off to a fast start. Fox News has learned that in a 33-hour period between Tuesday morning and Wednesday night, ICE agents arrested over 460 migrants, many with long criminal histories. But these operations aren't just limited to Boston, they're taking place all over the country. Bill Malugin is getting an exclusive look at this massive, important operation in the sanctuary city of Boston. Live now to Bill.
Well, Emily, we've heard officials here in Boston and in Massachusetts say repeatedly they are not going to cooperate with ICE or mass deportation efforts by the Trump administration. And ICE says, well, that's perfectly fine. You don't have to cooperate with us. We're still going to go into your city and we're going to do the job. And we were with ICE Boston yesterday for about 10 hours as we got to watch them firsthand carry out immigration enforcement. Take a look. Good morning, everyone. It's a frigid 5 degrees in the pre-dawn hours just outside of Boston, where this team of elite ICE officers is briefing on their targets for the day.
We're going to target some extremely violent offenders today.
Within moments, the officers are on the move, with eyes on their first target.
Looks like we got to move at target there.
No more candy.
They quickly take him into custody. He's an MS-13 gang member wanted in El Salvador for aggravated murder. And he has an Interpol red notice out for his arrest.
We are targeting very violent threats to our community.
I'm not going back to this.
One of those threats is this illegal alien from Haiti. ICE says he's a gang member with 17 criminal convictions in recent years.
Oh, yeah, you are.
You tell me, no fighting forever, bro. Thanks, Obama, for everything that you did for me, bro.
ICE Boston quickly takes down its next targets, including this illegal alien from Brazil, who has an Interpol red notice for armed robbery. This Salvadoran illegal alien, charged locally with rape and released by a sanctuary jurisdiction.
Hell.
And this Dominican illegal alien, charged with assault with a deadly weapon and heroin trafficking. Officers also arrested this Guatemalan MS-13 gang member, facing gun charges. ICE says he was released from local custody just the day before. Their detainer request was ignored because of sanctuary policies. And in a sign of shifting priorities with the new Trump administration, this man, who was in the same apartment as the target, was also arrested after ICE determined he's also in the U.S. illegally. This is what ICE calls collateral.
So you guys got your main target just now, but you got somebody else. What just happened?
So our main target was released by a sanctuary jurisdiction, not on a detainer. That person was released back into the community, and when we went to go find him, he's with somebody else who was previously removed from the United States. So he's going to go today too.
And that is exactly what Border Czar Tom Homan has warned would happen.
When we find the bad guy, he's probably with others. Others that are in the United States illegally. They may not be a criminal priority, but we're not walking away from them.
ICE Boston says they will continue to go into sanctuary jurisdictions and do their job.
Today was a good day. Today we took several significant public safety threats out of our communities. Unfortunately, a lot were released by sanctuary policies, but we're here to tell Commonwealth and the rest of the country that we're going to find them whether they're released or not.
And guys, a quick note on some of the blurring we did in that story. We decided to hide the faces of the ICE officers, obviously, because a lot of them work undercover. We also blurred some of the faces of the suspects if their cases are still pending, if they've been arrested but haven't been convicted yet. We also learned after we were done filming that ICE picked up another target on the other side of the city. This was a previously deported Honduran illegal alien who was arrested locally and is facing charges for raping a woman while holding a gun in her mouth, guys. Those are the kind of targets ICE is picking up out here. We'll send it back to you.
Malugin, thank you. Haley, an absolutely breathtaking collection of individuals. Took 33 hours to get 461 out of the way. Amazing. What a little bit of leadership, a little bit of gumption, and the mandate from the American people can do.
Okay.
And Emily, we were sitting there watching this, and you said 18 convictions for that recent individual. I mean, we were stunned to hear him say, believe Trump. Thank you, Biden. Thank you, Obama. Biden forever, bro. Pay attention to what he is saying. That Biden and Obama enabled someone with 18 criminal convictions to sit in our country without any sort of accountability. There's a lot of people they need to add to that list.
Oh,
Mr.
boy.
Haitian migrant criminal who's no longer going to be here. Add Michelle Wu, the mayor of Boston. Add Brandon Johnson, the mayor of Chicago. Add Gavin Newsom, the governor of California. Democrats have enabled this. And what a smart move from this administration to put these images out there within 48 hours. Because I can tell you this, the media is trying to focus on crying immigrants who
Oh, okay. 3 minute sleep video. Done. Ah. Oh, get out of here. No way. Ah. Oh. Oh, I can't believe it. Ah. No. Other news tonight, the former Stanford man is accused of stealing almost $1 million in an elaborate DoorDash scam was shot to death Monday in New York. Damn. This came right before he was due in court in Stanford for a potential resolution in that case. News Talk Connecticut, Marissa Alter with the latest tonight.
David Smith was supposed to appear in Stanford Superior Court Wednesday morning to accept or reject a plea offer in the case. Instead, the state's attorney's office learned Smith was killed 2 days ago. New Rochelle police found David Smith shot several times in the chest Monday morning at the Heritage Homes complex. Police said a personal dispute led to the 22-year-old's death. They've since arrested 4 men in connection.
Community members did help with this, with calls to the police of the shots and descriptions of people running away.
Smith was living in Mount Vernon. He moved there after Stanford police arrested him in June 2023 in what one investigator called the most massive scheme he's seen. Smith is accused of scamming DoorDash drivers in California out of almost $1 million.
Damn.
Investigators recovered a large chunk of it, $733,000 in cash, when they seized 5 safes from his apartment. Police explained how the scam worked. They said Smith would use one of his many phones to place a fake DoorDash order in California. Then when the driver was on the way, Smith would impersonate DoorDash support and claim there was a problem with the order.
You would get them to click a link or go to a website, and then that essentially would turn over their credentials, their username and password to him. Once he was in control of that, he would change the billing information and steal any funds that they had for deliveries they had done, basically steal their paycheck.
More than 700 drivers were scammed over the course of 2.5 years. Police said Smith also stole the identities of dozens of people to open debit card accounts where he transferred the stolen money. Smith was considering a plea deal in the case at the time of his death. His decision to take the offer or go to trial had been expected at Wednesday's court hearing. The details of the deal weren't made public. As for the over $700,000 in cash that was seized in this case, Stanford police still have that money. what happens to it, and whether it will go to all the victims as restitution will be determined at a hearing in March. That's also when the charges against Smith will officially be dismissed. In Stanford, Marissa Alter, News 12.
David Smith's attorney, Frank Riccio, says that he was shocked to learn of his client's death. He told News 12 that, quote, he was a quiet, kind young man who I had the pleasure of knowing. I feel terrible for his family. And he ends with, what a tragedy.
Imagine lying in bed, the weight of the day slowly fading as your mind begins to drift. In those quiet moments, your thoughts wander, reflecting on the journey of your life, the choices you've made, and the endless possibilities that lie ahead. What if, instead of falling into the usual cycle of worry and overthinking, you could immerse yourself in the calming, timeless wisdom of ancient philosophy? Imagine letting the teachings of Stoicism, Taoism, and existential thought lull you into a state of introspective peace, helping you to release the anxieties of the day and embrace the gentle flow of existence. Philosophy isn't just for academic halls or intellectual debates. It's a guide for navigating the human experience.
Thank you.